Captain's Log. November 21st, 2005. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you, you've made it to Friday.
Stretching. Don't mind the dead air.
But I'm allowed to have dead air on my own show, for the most part. Anyway, had a bit of... I have 5 talking points this show, because I've wrote them down. Though possibly 4, because, why not mention... not 4, 6. Because why not mention this one? November 21st. Oh, whatever could be significant about that date. Anyway, it's my birthday today. I mean, it's like public information. If you know who I am, chances are you know who my mother is. And if you know who my mother is, chances are you look at her social media. And if you look at her social media, you'll find, throughout the years, posts about my birthday. As well as, it's like... Was it on... one moment, look at this channel. Yeah, DeviantArt. The first link. It says my birthday there. I don't know why it displays that, but it does, so... How old am I turning? I'm not going to tell you that. That's for you to guess. I have had people be surprised at my age, mainly because I don't shave that much and grow up my facial hair, so I look older than I actually am. And my, regular hair. But I've had some insulting answers over the years. I am not 30 years old, alright? I know I don't take that good care of myself and general, skin care, but I'm not 30. Oh well. What did I watch this week, however, and how was my birthday? I was pretty good, apart from a few things. It was off to a rocky start, because, as you may know, my neighbor, they have a damn, light. They have a floodlight connected to a motion sensor that's super sensitive, so if a penguin, I'm reading my things, if a squirrel... if I'm reading a letterbox, and I recently watched Penguins Madagascar because it's my birthday. I watched it on my birthday. I used to watch Wall-E on my birthday, but I've swapped over to this one because, I don't know, your favorite movie changes over the years. And now it's this. Maybe it'll change in a few years, but I don't know. I didn't watch Wall-E this year. I did last year, I think. Right? I don't know. Wouldn't be able to tell. I don't think... I'm rambling. I got woken up thrice. So I got woken up 3 in the morning. Then I woken up at 4 and then 5. So once an hour. I got woken up by my neighbors, so that's nice of them. I hate them a lot. Oh, look at that. The light's on right now, the floodlight. That is bright enough to go through my blinds. I don't know what the hell... it's for burglars, I guess. It's tedious. But that was a fun... that was a fun start to the birthday. I was able to get some sleep at the very least. But this week I watched Down by the Law. And obviously, today, before recording this, I watched Penguins Madagascar, which is why I said Penguins, because I read it. Just rewatched that. But Down by the Law, I gave that 4 stars, and said quite well paced. While there were several lingering shots, it went by fast, and I found it decently funny. A very quiet film. It cuts most of what would be focused on in other movies, such as Trials or The Escape from Prison, and instead has conversations while they're just walking or sitting, with Zach and Jack having good chemistry and tolerating Bob at the best, despite him seemingly being the only one who can keep them alive. So I enjoyed that. It was a fun watch. Excuse me. Just had dinner, and with dinner I had Dr. Pepper. which I still have. I might have a sip while recording this. I don't know how long I plan on going for. Not the end of the month show. No, no, no. That's next week. But some, I don't know. We'll call them technical difficulties. Well, I did enjoy that movie. I wouldn't quite call it anticlimactic, but it's not really trying to be very cinematic. It's incredibly character-focused. I had a good segue if I didn't talk about movies I watched, that with my birthday being, like, public information. Like, I don't know, what's someone going to do with my birthday? Because, another interesting thing is, so, I used to live in the United States, so obviously I had a United States bank account. Then I moved to the United Kingdom, where I have a United Kingdom bank account now, so I took all the money from the US bank account and put it in the UK bank account. I didn't close the American bank account. I don't know. Didn't feel like going through the effort, I guess. So it's open. I still get, like, emails from them about, like, oh, here's our, like, automatic emails about, like, savings. So I've not used that in literal years, and I'm surprised. It's automated. It's like, I can unsubscribe if I feel like it, but it's, like, not worth the effort, I'd say. But anywho, I recently got an email from them that was like, transaction declined due to, like, lack of funds, and that was a red flag. Like, what the hell is this? So I checked my bank account. I was like, no, that's weird. I seem to have money in here, so what's this? And it's like, oh, that's not my UK account. That's my American bank account that I have not used in years. Apparently someone has a hold of that, and the $0 within it. And the transaction was, interestingly enough, to a dog charity? I don't know what exactly happened, but they obtain my bank account by some underhanded means, and apparently don't have the information to the money within it. Because, like, boy, what a find. $0. But they donated, or tried to donate, to a dog charity. Which didn't go through, because nothing to donate. But I went through the thing and was like, no, that's not me. If you didn't notice, I haven't used this account in several years, so I got it, like, frozen and whatnot. But that's an interesting tidbit. Just, of all the things to do, you have what is essentially free money, and you donate to charity? Funny that. A thief is a better person than I am. Oh well. So, it's odd. Any other occurrencing? Well, here. I wanted to get into this last week, this next talking point, but I forgot. Because I gotta start writing these down again. I stopped, and I'm starting to do it again. But, so we've gotten some fan art. Almost 4 years as Captain Vile, and I have now gotten some fan art. This is about Bendy and Ink Machine, annoyingly. So it's, or no, this is not the first Vilen fan art. So Vilen got their friend, who is not a Vilen, to redraw a thumbnail in their own seemingly anime style. So it's interesting seeing my avatar not in my Ed, Edd, and Eddy style. So that's the first Vilen fan art. Alright, the unknown artist is now an honorary Vilen, because the first, now second, piece of fan art is relating to Bendy, and I am not having Vilen history be made with that creature involved. So that's the second piece of fan art, not the first. But it's that. But there is an honorary mention for first piece of Vilen fan art, and that is at the beginning of the year. So, little known thing about Captain Vile is he enjoys risk and pushing his luck and making bets. Now he does this once a year. The yearly bet, of course. Last year's bet was about Family Guy getting cancelled, and if it didn't get cancelled, I had to write a 5,000-word Sonic fanfiction. Which I had to do. And I wrote it and uploaded it. Interestingly, though, maybe a month after I uploaded the story, I got a DM? Yes, a digital message from some artist who's like, hey, this is an interesting story. I'd be willing to, like, can I make a comic out of this? This, like, novelization, or this novel? And I was like, sure. Crikey, this is some interesting, like, Vilen history here, I guess. The first piece of Captain Vile fan art is a comic book adaptation of a Sonic fanfiction I was forced to write under duress. But it turns out, this is not some, and I will be withholding their name for their dignity, despite the fact that they have no idea who I am, and no idea that I do this show. This is just some, like, well, I don't know, they took the time to read the damn thing, maybe they are a fan. If they are watching, hi! I hold no ill will to you. Just, I find the story amusing. So it turns out they were not offering to make a comic adaptation. They were pitching to me hiring them to make a comic adaptation. This is an artist who is trying to like get themselves commissioned. They wanted me to pay them to make a comic of it, and like pitching their skills instead of asking permission. They were like, so that's fun. I've been holding on to this for a while. I've been waiting until the actual first bit of tangible fan art to be made to tell this little story. But I find it interesting. I suppose, hey, that's get your foot in the door, but you're kind of lying to do it. So, amusing, but you kind of got my hopes up there, pal. Oh well. This was a while ago, and I, as you can tell, find it pretty amusing. Hang on. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling through the mic. Probably drowned out by the background noise I play during these shows. But yeah, as I said earlier, I got some Dr. Pepper. But my next talking point, somewhat relating to fan art. This is actually official art. So, take a gander down at your screen, at your second monitor that this is playing on, by the time this was uploaded, and you will see a shadowy silhouette in a green background peering at you. This may have changed. That's right, I'm thinking of changing my profile picture, and that is because I've changed the Vilen design. So, this is quite a time capsule if you're watching this in the future. But as you're watching this in the present, the Vilen design is a bit iffy. So, the first, I want to say 2 years of the channel, a Vilen was in the thumbnail, which were these little fictional creatures I made to be fictional henchmen. However, I instead put my avatar, like Captain Vile, in the thumbnails, and he's in there now, in their place, because they were awkward to draw, and they were really hard to do expressions with. But if you go to the oldest videos in the videos section, the third video will be a Vilen in the thumbnail. It's our playthrough of Hades. So you can see it's just eyes. That's their face. I mean, yeah, after that is, well, We Happy Few, where he's got a smile, but that's like, I don't know, that never happens again. But I took him out of the thumbnails because weird to do expressions with and weird to draw because he's entirely like a silhouette. So I have to, and he's fully black because he's a silhouette, but like, I don't know, I have to do these weird lines if his, like, hands ever went in his body to show that they weren't, like, enveloped by his body. So just awkward to draw. And, since I'm, like, writing War of Violence and Simeon's scripts, they're obviously getting some screen time. They're the one sides of the war's henchmen, their main army. So they tend to show up. And I'm developing what they are exactly. And I've settled on... They're like a rare species of ant. So, they were never, like... They weren't ants when I drew them all this time ago, but they're ants now. They're this, like, weird species of genetically modified ants that follow the captain. So I've changed their design to reflect that. They're more ant-like. Still no mouth, but they have like reflective pupils and antennas, and of course like differing limbs and whatnot. They look more like ants than a weird shadow. And they're not fully black, but it's more of like a very, very dark green, but you can still see a black silhouette for details within their body. But I'm not going to make that the thumbnail, or the profile picture of the channel. So, when the Vilens... and this isn't even for, like, War of Violence, I mean, this is also in the New Year's animation, which they also feature in now. So I'll be debuting their new design in that, so look forward to that on January 1st, I guess, I don't know. But they are a chain design, and... that means I gotta change the profile picture, and I probably ought to change the banner too. I think I'm gonna change it to show all the characters in like a row. I think I'll do that instead of just Captain Vile written in like a dark void. Have a bit more personality. But what will I change the profile picture to? Other than a Dave screenshot, alright? I've got 131 of them, but I'm not changing it to a Dave screenshot. I'm tempted as I am. If we ever get like a second channel, that'll be like I guess there is a second channel. There's a backup channel if the main channel gets terminated or something. Or I can release updates, but that's like an inverse. Maybe I gotta change that. I don't know. Oh well. That's not worth updating. Maybe. Who knows? I could do a recreation of the current profile picture with the captain. So it's still a silhouette, but he's... I don't know. I'll look into this. But I gotta change it. I gotta... This is probably least on my things of this is least on my to-do list, but I do have to... It's on the to-do list. But yeah, I'll probably just do like a Captain Vile version of what's currently there. I don't want to do like just a V, because that is like the logo, the fictional logo, but that's boring. So I think I'll just do that. It's his head. Kind of looking at the screen. Who knows? I'll look into it. Anyway, looking for the others. Yeah, changing Violin design. And changing profile picture. So next up, are you guys hear of a show called Pluribus? that came out recently. That came out, what was it, 7th? Yeah. 1 and 2 on the 7th, 3 on the 14th, and 4 today. But I'm not going to be able to watch it till Saturday, because it comes out 2 a.m. my time. Because it comes out at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, thanks for that, Vince. Bravo, yeah, more like boo. But anyway, the show, pretty interesting. This is only one other show has gotten me to do this, and that's From. But I have enjoyed this show so much that I have looked to Reddit, of all places, to see what other people are saying about it. Like, yeah, you can go on, like, Twitter or something, but that's... No, that's too varied. With this, they're only talking about this, because it's got its own, like, subreddit now. So I've... excuse me. Drinking Dr. Pepper while recording. Why don't I drink just water? Oh, here, I got some now, actually. So, does water stop you from burping if you drink it after drinking soda? I guess we're gonna find out. I don't think so. Maybe not. Hell, I think I've burped from drinking water. Whatever. So I looked at, like, From. I've not checked the, like, Reddit in years from watching From. But while I was watching and making the video about From, I did. And after each episode comes out, I'll probably stop. But you enjoy a show enough that you're like, I gotta see what other people are saying about this. So you look to Reddit of all places. That's the only time I go about it. Because it's just insufferable otherwise. But it's pretty interesting. It's really more of a character study than actually a sci-fi story. Because they're not really focusing on the hive mind aspects. Well, they focus on, like, the sci-fi antics, or the hive mind antics they do, like all those synchronized motions, which I hope that they do, like, an old-fashioned Hollywood-style dance number, or a musical number, with synchronized, like, arm motions. Because that's if there's a show that comes out recently to do it, it'd be this one, because that's, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. I just like musical numbers, man. Because it's so much to ask for to get, like, old-fashioned style Hollywood musicals again. They're cool. But I enjoy it. It is a slow show, and it's being... I mean, Season 2 is basically kind of confirmed. But they're saying it could run for 4 seasons, and that, I feel we gotta hit the brakes a second. Because, yeah, it's a slow show. And I'm content to watch a slow show, because it's interesting, and I like it. And I understand what I'm getting into. It's not a, like, balls-to-the-walls solving the mystery. That's more on the back burner. It's her dealing with, like, grief and being a miserable person. She is pretty miserable, Carol, the main character. But I find that kind of funny. Because guess what? I tend to also be pretty negative most of the time. I try and be positive. But if you watch this show, yes, I try and keep it neutral to positive, but I do enjoy complaining. I have a whole series dedicated to complaining. But it's very easy to complain. It's difficult to be positive. But rewarding... So I'll try and not be overly negative. But her, no, she likes to complain. She will verbally abuse the hive mind a little too much. And I'll find myself being like, okay, calm down, because you're gonna cause the world to stand still again. Because you're yelling at every human being on the planet. They have touched that in the second episode. But it's, I don't know. It's intriguing. I'll see where they're going. but I am gonna finish it. But it's definitely a show to take with a grain of salt, I'd say. But I enjoy it. I just really, they gotta do it. Like, the only good thing that could come from them doing 4 seasons of the show is that over 4 seasons, they gotta have at least one musical number. If I'm in, like, the executive... Oh, I didn't even talk about that! But if you're pitching this show to me, the first thing I'm gonna ask is, so did they ever do, like, a synchronized dance? But, yesterday, we're writing scripts for class, and it's script writing and pitching. And yesterday, we pitched. So, you go in, and you make slides. So you're, hello, I'm blah blah blah. Here's my blah. But I'm pretty good at pitching. I mean, if you want to get into pitching, here's my advice. You have to be either very good at memorization, not memorizing what's on the slides. Say something other than what's on the slides. You gotta memorize 2 scripts. Or you don't even memorize the slides. Memorize the script and make it different from what's on the slides, and say that. If you're going to memorize. Or, now this is a gamble. Get really good at improvisation. Because that's what I did. Yes, I did memorize a basic script to go through, but I would say 80% of what I said during my pitch today was just improv, just off the top of my head, going through the dome, or going through the slides. Like, I know what this slide is. Got anything prepared? I didn't. So, but I'm good at it. Mainly because I'm passionate about what I'm making. It's about the ocean, which is cool. But also, just because I can turn it on. I got... You think MD Upname comes from nowhere? You think that was like, oh, years and years of faking being a salesman? No, it's not MD. It's ME, baby. Alright? I walked into there in a full suit because it was about gamblers who were flashy. So I was dressed in a green suit, a green button-up shirt, and a watch that I got from the school store a while ago. But it was a perfect opportunity because it was that right amount of sleaze that I was going for. I could have dressed up and been professional, or I could have dressed up like Saul Goodman, which I went into. And when you're pitching, you have to go... You can't go through... It's like going in a pool. You can't go through one limited time dipping your toe in to get your body... No, you gotta golf off the deep end. You have to get your body adjusted to it immediately. You can't be, okay, so we're on slide 1. It's, no, hello, I'm Sawyer Etienne, and I wrote Poseidon's Envy. Now, Poseidon's Envy, what would you be willing to risk for your life for? Now, what's it about? It's a horror movie about, and blah, 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 blah. So you gotta go right into it. I gotta, ooh, hang on. I gotta go right out of it right now. I'm too... I can go from 0 to 60, but I can't go from 60 to 0. I gotta have a wind down from the selling. But I'm a good salesman, damn it. I said earlier, you think the character of MD Upname came out of nowhere? No, that was in there already. That's just an aspect of myself that I amp up. But it's fun. I like pitching. I like pitching my ideas. I would do such a good elevator pitch. Because the hardest part about this was making the slides. The easiest part, the funnest part, was just being center stage. Improv. Just going at it. I would be so good at doing elevator pitches. Nothing prepared. Just, okay, here's the movie. And then you go. I could do that so well. But people don't like that. People wouldn't want an elevator pitch. They want to know what the movie is. They want to know what this madman's rambling about at the speed of light. This guy's got a motor on his mouth, and he knows how to talk. No, they want someone who knows how to, like, put pen to paper. Which I can do, but I don't like doing that. I like being in the moment. Yeah, easiest thing about presenting is there's no past, there's no future, there is now, and right now you gotta be on, you gotta be selling. I gotta calm the hell down. I said earlier, you can't go from 6 to 0. Going from 60 to 0 to 60 to 0 to 0 to 60 over and over and over again. Getting all amped up. It could be the Dr. Pepper, alright? Because it is my birthday. So my family sent me some, like, care packages and gifts and whatnot. And you know what was in those gifts? Myconites. Little tablets of sugar. So, little amped up at the moment. But it's my birthday. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed for the show to be 5 minutes longer than it normally would be, because Captain Vilen wanted to talk about how good of a salesman he is. Alright? I was born for the stage. Anyway, before they get the hook and pull me off stage, I'll go. So, thank you for watching, and good Vilen.